Amnesia by CaramelSwirls, with 16 thumbs up, 3 thumbs down, 57 comments, and 333 referrals. The tags for the story are gore, tragedy, dark, adventure. Swirls is under attack, but by who? She wakes up in Ponyville with no memories and no clues, just a bunch of scars and bruises. Who could have done it? She wanders around until she runs into Pinky, who graciously lets her stay with her, and Twilight bandage her up. Will she figure out her attacker? Will she be able to protect herself if she does? The ponies that star in the story are the main 6 and original characters. Chapter 1, Forget Me Not, with 1,128 words. Chapter 1, Forget Me Not. Chapter 1, Forget Me Not. As I write this, I am hiding, crouched in a bathtub, hoping she won't find me. And if you're reading this, I'm probably gone. She probably got me. I just hope some pony out there reads this and I save their life. I hope you throw this miserable creature behind bars for the rest of eternity, and even then justice would still not have won. Please, if you are reading, arrest. I begin writing swiftly. I needed to hurry before I was found out. Even more so, I needed to escape from this pony. I heard the doorknob jiggle around. My heart skipped a beat. It was her. She found me. I held my breath, afraid that she could sense my fear. The lights began flickering rapidly, as if they were suffering from epileptic seizures. What? Until they finally exploded, glass shooting every which way. It was too pitch black to see, but I heard the door burst open. I closed my eyes tight, hoping she wouldn't find me in the dark. Suddenly, I felt a hard whack to the back of my head, and seconds later, the world disappeared. All I could hear was the sound of paper burning and her obnoxious, maniacal laughter. Some time later, boy, do I have a killer headache. What happened? Where am I? I questioned myself. I rubbed my eyes as they adjusted to the dark scenery. It was almost pitch black outside. As I struggled to figure out where I was, bam! I flew backwards after bumping into some random thing. "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Are you okay?" some strange pink pony asked me. Me? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I'm sorry I ran into you, I replied, rubbing my head. "So, you're new, huh? Huh? What's your name? Where are you from? What brought you here? Where are you?" The pink pony began rambling a million questions at me, and it only made my head throb more. I can't exactly remember my name, to be honest, or anything else, for that matter. I don't even know where I'm going to stay. I told her, as I soon realized my head wasn't the only thing in pain. I put my hoof over my ribs to ease the pain, and soon began noticing scratches and bruises covered me. "Oh no! How could you forget even your name? No, no, no! You can't live out here! It's dark outside! I'm Pinkie Pie! Come with me and I'll bake you cupcakes! You can live with me and we can be best friends forever! And you can meet all my other friends! We'll have lots of parties!" And I cut off Pinkie once more. "That sounds great," I painfully said with a sigh. I knew I'd regret living with her, but I didn't exactly have any other choice. I followed this pony to her home as she incessantly went on and on about nonsense. When we got to her house, she shrieked in joy and let me inside. She turned the lights on, took one look at me, and screamed. "Oh my gosh, what happened to you? Oh dear, I see why you can't remember anything. We have to do something," Pinkie yelled. "I got it. I'll get Twilight. She's a genius. She'll know exactly what to do, despite the fact that there's a fucking hospital in Ponyville." The hyper pony ran towards the door. "If you need anything at all, Mr. and Mrs. Cake are upstairs and they will gladly help you." She proceeded to run out the door and towards Twilight's house. I took a look around the room to see the place was a huge bakery. I wandered around for several minutes looking for a bathroom. When I found one, I looked into the mirror and I couldn't believe my eyes. There was a huge gash in my left cheek, contrasting against my cocoa brown skin. My blonde mane was messed up, and I thought I saw a few bald spots in there. My right emerald green eye was now a darker shade of purple. I demanded to know what happened to me, yet it seemed there were no answers to be found. Just this strange town. Maybe the answers lied here. I laughed. Nah, I knew anyone who would do this would be smart enough to leave me somewhere far away from them. The door to the bathroom opened and I jumped in the air. Oh my gosh, you nearly gave me a heart attack, I screamed. Was I always this jumpy? I'm so sorry, but I just rushed home with Twilight. I was worried when I didn't see you. It was Pinky once again, screaming every word she said. Yet, this time she was followed by a purple pony. Hi, I'm Twilight. It's nice to meet you. What should we call you? Neither of us have the slightest clue what your name is. Twilight said calmly. It was nice to have a calm pony to talk to. Ooh, I know. Let's call her Swirly, because her cutie mark is a tornado. Pinky laughed. Oh, yes it is. How observant of you, Pinky. Anyhow, let's get to work on patching you up, Twilight said. Twilight's horn glowed and bandages lifted into the air. They began covering all the wounds to prevent an infection. Wow, nice job. I admired her talent. Twilight chuckled. It's no problem. I love to help other ponies. You should probably get some rest now, though. Maybe in the morning you'll remember something. Okay, Swirls? I nodded my head. Pinky led me to her room, and Twilight's horn glowed once again. This time a bed appeared. I'm just going to have a word with Twilight really quick, okay? You can head off to bed, though, Pinky said. Sure, and thanks again, I told her. Pinky and Twilight left the room, and I sat down on my bed. As I sat down, I noticed something fell out of my pocket, on the clothes that I'm apparently wearing. I questioned. I picked up what appeared to be a folded piece of paper and opened it up. Be careful. I'm watching you. I will be back. The note read. I gasped. Could Twilight or Pinky have put this in my pocket when I wasn't paying attention? Or did my pursuer put this here way before I even met Pinky? I sprinted to the door to try to eavesdrop on their conversation, and all I heard was a somehow familiar laugh. Chapter 2. New Friends or New Enemies? With 1,299 words. I gasped. This laugh was familiar, but why? Could it have to do with what happened to me? If so, does that make one of them my attacker? I heard footsteps make their way towards me. I gulped and sprinted into bed, feigning sleep. I began breaking out in a cold sweat under the covers. If it's Pinky, do you think she knows what I heard her? Why are you asking me? I heard her open the door and go into her bed, falling fast asleep. I, on the hand, couldn't sleep a wink. I stared at the ceiling all night, wide-eyed, fearing the pony a mere couple of feet away from me. Good morning! 2 voices shouted at me. I jumped and fell out of the bed, hitting my head once more. I guess I dozed off for a few minutes. I rubbed my head and looked up at the 4 eyes staring me down. Oh my gosh, are you okay? We didn't mean to scare you. We just wanted to give you a friendly wake-up call, Pinky shouted into my ear. Gosh, is this her plan to attack me? If so, it's pretty torturous. We made you breakfast because we realized we hadn't fed you all last night, and then we figured afterwards we'd show you around Ponyville, Twilight said kindly. Ha! I laughed at finding her words kind, considering she could easily be my attacker in disguise. I thanked them and took their breakfast. I poked around at it for a little while, deciding whether they could have poisoned it or not. My stomach began growling, though. It had seemed like forever since I last ate, so I risked the odds and tried it. It was delicious. I scarfed it up quickly. We then left the house and began venturing around Ponyville. While I admit it was still hard to walk, it wasn't as bad as last night. Twilight sure did a good job patching me up. Would someone who planned to kill me really heal me up as well? Or is it just a cover to convince Pinky she cares? Despite my liking towards her, I couldn't let my biases cast suspicion off of her. The fuck is biases? As they began showing me all the places around town, I began analyzing everything I saw, hoping something, anything, would jog my memory, but to no avail. Eventually, we ran into a group of ponies. Hi guys, Pinky screamed. Everyone, this is our new friend Swirls. She's a little off at the moment because she lost her memory, but I know she'll get better under my super care. I couldn't help but laugh at the comment as I gave a meek smile. Hey guys, it's nice to meet all of you. I hope we can become great friends. Nice to meet you. Name's Applejack. I'm sure you'll fit in just nicely, an orange pony said. Welcome to Ponyville. I'm Fluttershy. I'm sure we'll be great friends, Fluttershy said. It's nice to meet you, darling. I'm Rarity. Oh, geez, what happened to your hair? It's a mess. Stop by my place later and I'll make you a beautiful pony, a white pony said. Oh, hey, Rainbow Dash here. Nice to meet you. I gotta go. Check you later, an odd blue pony said. Her eyes seemed to be wide at the sight of me as she flew off into the distance. That was strange, Twilight noticed. What do you think's gotten into her? All the other ponies shook their heads. Could she have been my attacker? Did she expect me to be dead, and the sight of me scared the bejeebies out of her? Well, maybe she has some important matter to attend to. I bet she'll explain to it all later. Anyway, darling, would you like to come with me so I could fix up your hair? Rarity asked. She seemed kind enough, and I had yet to have a reason to suspect her. I nodded my head. I wished I would never find a reason to suspect her as I followed her to her house. She kept telling me the inside information about Ponyville and really made me feel welcome. For a brief moment, she was my closest friend, as we got along so well. Yet, I knew I couldn't get close to her, or anyone else. Everyone was still a suspect until proven innocent. Okay. After some time, we reached her house and walked inside. I was a lovely clothing boutique. Really, you were a lovely clothing boutique. We stood in front of several mirrors as she began doing my hair. So, darling, any particular style you like? Rarity asked. I shook my head. Oh, that's right, I'm sorry. But chip her up, darling. I'll think of something lovely. Don't you worry. So, how was your evening with Pinky? It was interesting. Is she always like that? You know, very loud and very hyper, I asked. Oh, yeah, Pinky is known for that and her laughter. But don't mind her, darling. She's a very sweet pony, Rarity responded. Laughter? Could that laugh have been hers? I saw my opportunity and dove in. So, it sounds like you know a lot about Pinky and are very fond of her, I asked. Of course, doll. Doll? In what fucking episode did Rarity say doll? Whatever. She is a terrific pony. Why, just yesterday afternoon she spent the day running around making cakes for all the little ponies whose birthday it was, Rarity said. Wait, she was busy all day yesterday? I mean, considering my wounds were fresh, they must have been inflicted yesterday. I guess it couldn't have been her. She had no time. Damn it. Well, if you're smart, you'd know that she could have just used the whole cakes thing as a cover story. Whatever. I was really hoping it was her. But I guess she's kind. Just obnoxious. I sighed in relief that one pony was down. Yet, that Rainbow Dash did seem the most suspicious. It must be her. I began probing more. That's so sweet. Would you happen to know what Rainbow Dash was doing yesterday? I asked. Rainbow? No, darling, sorry. I know she likes to race a lot. Perhaps she is racing some other ponies, Rarity replied. Racing? I flashed back to an image of me, running in fear. Fear of what? My attacker? I was running with several composition notebooks in my arm. All I could make out was the title said Top Secret. I continuously looked back to see if she was following me yet. I could see were dead bodies everywhere. They surrounded me as I fled a mysterious building. I could feel her growing closer, yet there was no sight of her. I snapped it back to reality. If speaking of Rainbow Dash made such a strong memories appear, I knew it must have been her. I need a little more proof, or to eliminate a few more suspects before I could be 100% sure, though. Rarity began finishing up my haircut, and I looked in the mirror to find my beautiful blonde mane completely intact. I smiled manically. I thanked Rarity and began off on my merry way. I began contemplating everything that had happened today, and I headed towards Pinky's house. I felt a little better, knowing I can trust one person. Whoosh! Something flew past me and hit the ground. It was a crow with an arrow shot through its back. What the fuck? Yet strangely, there was also a piece of paper through the arrow as well. I picked it up. I told you to be careful. Stop investigating now, or else. My heart skipped a beat. I quickly looked around everywhere. There was no one in sight.